So I've named this area, the Snow Palace. Now I think I put a trap here, but I can't remember. Oh, I've also blocked it off with glass, each intersection, just to create a sense of separation. Now those witches are naturally spawned. Natural spawning is turned on, so you also notice we get more of those white skeletons to fit the white theme. I'm trying to make each theme fit the color of the wool, so this snowy theme will fit the color of the white wool. Now, this is interesting because I actually haven't seen this in any CTM before, but Elder Guardians used to protect the stronghold, but I'll get to that in a sec. You come to a cave-like structure, and you get bombarded by all these custom mobs, and you have to really keep an eye out for spawners if you want to live. So again, encouraging the player to explore every little section, because there are lots of hidden places here. Well, the amount of mobs here is actually horrendous, but this area isn't very difficult to complete. It's certainly a lot easier than the first part, so I do need to make this a lot more difficult. But the most difficult part is actually going through this first section, because you don't really know where the spawners are, and they're kind of hard to tell, except for when like creepers blow up the place. So let's take a look around. It's not really an impressive castle, it's not very big, but that's because this is only the first level, and it will get bigger and bigger as we go along. So here we've got more chests full of sea lanterns. So the sea lanterns are so the player actually has a light source. And are these slabs? Okay, so now the player has a more reliable source of wood at this point. Obviously the player cannot break them until they can show that they can destroy these Elder Guardians. So you press the button and it destroys the Elder Guardian and the Elder Guardian spawner, and then you have to do that on both sides of the tower in order to get in. Or you could just find a way in. That's not really the recommended way, but if you can, then there's this room down here, again spoiling a lot. If you don't want much spoiled, then I suggest you play the map after it's released first and then come back to it. So what you need to do, you need to go in here, you collect your wool, preferably not all at once because you only need one piece of wool to go to the next area, and then you can find your way back. Now here I've got more of those white skeleton mobs. I've got more items for the player, like splash potions of weakness. I'm not really sure what the point, I'm not sure why I did that, but there are many ways to get to different places. There's a lot going on here actually, but I still think the only custom mob here at the moment is the white skeleton. I think I introduce a new custom mob every time. But these spawners are set so really long delay, and if the Elder Guardians ever die, they won't respawn. So there's always that. But every time I come here, I'm just making it more difficult to the player. Now, why did I put ghast spawners up there? Mainly it's to stop people from just pillaring up and destroying the spawners there. Obviously I haven't added in enough ghast spawners because I need like a few here and a few there, but I just want to stop the player from pillaring up to these guys. I want them to go through the whole structure before they get to that point. Otherwise they'll have to face some nasty ghasts, and no one likes that. So that's that area, pretty small, but the next area is a lot bigger. So we'll go into that one. This is orange wool, and I tried to fit an orange theme for this. This is carpet, by the way, so the player can't use this for the monument, which will be command block powered, by the way. A lot of what I'm doing here will be command block powered. Oh yes, I forgot about this. You probably shouldn't see this, but I gave a fishing rod and a little water pond here. I mean, you can craft it yourself, but it does give you a nice source of fish if you ever need it, and the coal is so you can cook the fish. But for now, let's move on to this section. Now I'm worried I'm really gonna trigger a trap here, but now I'm very new to MC Edit, so the pod soul doesn't really look as great as it can be, and I use the clone command for the houses, so this was very lazily done, to be honest, as you can probably see, so I will have to rework this whole section. But if we go in, we might be able to see our next custom mob. Yep, the orange skeleton. So each color wool will have a different color skeleton. So you get the white skeleton and the orange skeleton, and then obviously in the next branch you'll get the magenta skeleton, and they will recur in different branches. So here's these guys, and they do drop special items. Let's just grab a sword and go enchant at P looting 3. Let's see if we can get it. Not this time, unfortunately. Maybe we will find it along the way. But yet again, I place spawners in very unpredictable places, but I never hide spawners. I always make sure they can be seen from the surface at all times. So, also another challenge about making CTMs is figuring out where you want your light and dark spots, because the darker the spot, the more the natural mob spawns will be, and then the more difficult that particular spot will be. So difficulty is very much determined by how bright you've set everything. So let's go through here. This is the first sighting of lava. So you could actually make a cobblestone generator at this point, but you don't have any buckets, which is a bit of a downside, so you might have to find a way to bring the water here if you can, but I really doubt that that's going to happen. So no cobblestone for you. And this isn't cobblestone either, it's cobblestone stairs and slabs. So you still are unable to craft any stones tools at this point. But you'll notice that there's lots of wood that you can use now, so you're in no danger of running out of wood. And it's probably at this point that I give you some saplings to work with. And there's lots of dirt as well. I believe podzol can be tilled. Let's put that to the test. Oh no, it can't. So farming will still be a problem. Farming and food will still be a problem. Let's take a look around. So I've made this area nice and open just for a more dramatic effect in this area, and especially when fighting ghasts, I thought this is a nice place to fight a ghast. So that's why I put the ghast spawner rather low. It's just to encourage the player to fight it, but I don't really want to force them at this point because ghasts can be annoying. So that's why I've only placed one spawner down at the moment. Alright, let's hope we can get this. Again, I've left all the rooms open, so it will be fair when you see spawners happening. Alright, please give me your loot. No, not this time either. That's unfortunate. Actually, I need to test something. I'm pretty sure if you just break podzol, you will get the dirt. Now that I think about it, and you guys are probably like raging at the screen. Yeah, you get dirt back. So farming is no longer a problem at this stage. You can create an infinite carrot and bread farm. Alright, give me your loot, please. No? Okay. So you can see, I believe the white skeleton can start spawning here. Alright, so I've given a wooden axe at this point, so you can easily chop down trees, which means at some point I would have given out some saplings. Also notice the bedrock. That's a place where you can regenerate health, but you will be a bit weak and slow on the downside. And it spams your chat because back then I wasn't really good at command blocks, so obviously you can tell that this was made a very long time ago. So now we have this more rounded section. It's less open, more cave-like, giving the player a more confined sense. See, I'm trying not to make this all the same. I'm trying to experiment with different shapes of the rooms and trying to create a different feeling after every stage, otherwise the player will just get bored with everything, and we do not want that, because CTMs, the biggest risk with them, is that the player can get quite bored, as you all probably are right now. Actually, no, I'm kidding. So you get Sword of the Undead. Smite Sword, I would have put that there because there's a lot of undead right here, and so I would have wanted to give the player some kind of chance. Is that a creeper spawner? That's a creeper spawner. I didn't think I was a fan of that. Anyway. We won't have to worry about that. Traps chest. Again, I'm giving away the traps, so you can get weakness or poison. So that's pretty generic kind of trap anyway. You can find those all over the place. They're kind of easy to spot though. I mean, how can that not be a trap? Ah, see, we get white skeletons here as well.